Hello again, everybody. Chris here. I'm all set to count down the 40 most played country songs in the nation, according to MediaBase 24/7 for the chart week of April 19th, 2025. Before I get started counting down this week's biggest hits, let's take a look back at last week's top three. Number 3 was Friends Like That by John Morgan and Jason Aldean. Number 2 was I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen. And the number 1 song last week was Hometown Home from LoCash. Now, can the guys hang on to number 1 again this week? Let's find out 39 hits from now. We'll get started with the latest from Joe Nichols and Annie Bosco, spending a second week at number 40 with Better Than You. Well, we have 3 debuts on the chart this week, and here's the first of those debuts at number 39. It's the 10th top 40 hit from Parmalee, the follow-up to their number 1 hit, Gonna Love You. This one's called Cowgirl. At number 38 again this week, here's Ernest and Would If I Could. In at number 37 again this week, it's George Burge and It Won't Be Long. Debuting at number 36 with his 10th top 40 hit, it's Jordan Davis, the follow-up to his recent number 1 hit, I Ain't Sayin'. His new song is called Bar None. At number 35, up a notch, here's Russell Dickerson with Happened to Me. And here's the week's highest debut, rolling in at number 34. It's the 24th top 40 hit by Morgan Wallen, called Just In Case. Well, we had 3 debuts. That means 3 droppers falling out this week. This town's been too good to us just to say we did and relapse. On with the countdown. Here's Keith Urban up 2 to number 33 with Straight Line. Up 2 to number 32, it's Dierks Bentley with She Hates Me. Inching up a notch to 31, here's Parker McCollum with What Kind of Man. In their 10th week in the countdown, they climb 1 to number 30, Rascal Flatts and the Jonas Brothers with I Dare You. Leaping 4 spots to number 29, Eric Church with Hands of Time. Slipping back 1 to number 28, it's Jackson Dane with Heavens to Betsy. Up 1 to number 27, it's Luke Bryan with Country Song Came On. Up 4 spots to number 26, Shaboozey with Good News. Up a notch to number 25, Kelsey Hart with Life With You. Here's the week's fastest climbing hit, up 5 spots to number 24, Thomas Rhett with After All the Bars Are Closed. Up 2 to number 23, it's John Party with Friday Night Heartbreaker. Up 2 to 22, it's Nate Smith with Fix What You Didn't Break. At number 21, up 2 spots, Sam Hunt with Country House. In her 20th week in the countdown, she climbs 1 to number 20, Carly Pearce with Truck on Fire. Up 1 to 19 this week, Tyler Hubbard with Park. Up 4 spots to number 18, it's Corey Kent with This Heart. Up 2 to number 17, it's Riley Green with Worst Way. Up 2 to number 16, Josh Rouse with Single Again. Up a notch to number 15, Old Dominion with Coming Home. In her 12th week on the chart, she's up 3 spots to 14, Ella Langley with Weren't for the Wind. Up 1 to number 13, Kane Brown with Backseat Driver. Up a notch to number 12, Drew Baldridge with Tough People. And the 11th most played country hit this week, up a notch, here's Bailey Zimmerman with Holy Smokes. Alright, the first of the 10 biggest hits belongs to Morgan Wallen, down a notch to number 10 with his former number 1 hit, Love Somebody. And leaping 2 spots to number 9, scoring her second top 10 hit, it's Megan Maroney with Am I Okay. Up 2 to number 8, here's Jason Aldean with Whiskey Drink. Up 1 to number 7, Blake Shelton with Texas. Up a notch to number 6, Zach Top with I Never Lie. And at number 5 again this week, here's Cole Swindell and Forever to Me. And at number 4 for a second week, it's Jelly Roll and his former number 1, Liar. And at number 3 for a second week, John Morgan and Jason Aldean, called Friends Like That. The number 2 song this week, it's the 3rd hit on the countdown this week for Morgan Wallen as he holds position this week with I'm the Problem. The number 1 song in country music for the 2nd week in a row belongs to LoCash. It's their 3rd number 1 country hit called Hometown Home. And that is our countdown of the 40 most played country hits this week. Join me again next week. Once again, we'll count them down and find out who's got the number 1 song in North America.